In the world of minimalism, having a clean and organized home seems to be the goal, and decluttering is a process we look upon. But little do we know, what seems to be a challenge for many might be an addictive action for some, one that makes us feel that we are in control. Over decluttering, that's when minimalism has become an obsession, a destination we try to reach, a number we try to achieve. However, minimalism is never the end goal. And for today, I'm not specifically talking about compulsive decluttering or Spartanism or any anxiety that is related to OCD, where clutter causes anxiety. However, instead of that, let's talk about the high of decluttering. Decluttering for the sake of decluttering. You know, the joy of having a sparse living space, the sound of clearing your desktop, the freedom of freeing ourselves from things, the echo that bounces back from our walls.
Hello.
Okay, maybe not the echo. So, for me, after I finished my 30 days minimalism game, I managed to declutter 465 items in 30 days. I felt that I can do more, but this time, without any rules and time constraints, I can remove things at my own comfortable pace. But I'm living, sleeping, and working in the same room. Tools, bed, and things are kept in this room. Once it's messy, I do have the urge to declutter my room just to make space. But I don't find it addictive, but I see it as a constant awareness of being intentional with the things in my room. We grow and change as the time passes, and during this process, things fall apart or become something that has no value to us. So, constantly being intentional with what we own can prevent us from hoarding things. Even without this as an addiction, it does create a problem for me. For some reason, I see decluttering things as a form of work. It seems as if I'm being productive and I accomplish something as I declutter. However, this act is nothing more than a procrastination, and I'm guilty of it. When I have to do my work, I'll start to wander around my room, open my cupboard, and start to find things to declutter. Or I'll scroll through my folders to delete unwanted files and emails. I mean, this action is needed, but that's not my priority for the time being. And I wasted a lot of time during the process of decluttering, finding things to declutter. Equally as bad as hoarding, over decluttering can take up quite a chunk of our time, energy, and even money. For example, declutter a pen from your working desk just because it looks disorganized and messy, but only to find ourselves buying a new one when we need it. Of course, for you, it might not be something as minute as a pen. Honestly, I haven't decluttered anything that I regret about, but I did remove stuff that later on I realized that could be a good prop for my videos, but I already decluttered it. It's nothing major that affects me because I can always replace it with something I already have, and I can live without it. Like what Joshua Becker said, less doesn't mean none. The benefits of decluttering your place gives you the freedom of owning less stuff and not owning nothing, because we do require a certain amount of possession to live. And the fact that our definition of less and minimalism can differ from everyone else makes it hard for me to tell you what's right and what's wrong to declutter. But the fun part is we can judge it by ourselves. And I have some tips that you can use to judge if you should keep it or declutter it. And this is gonna be weird because it's the first time I'm telling you to keep stuff instead of decluttering them. First is the money generator. It's a pretty straightforward point. If this is a thing that helps you with your job, your work, or business, it's a tool that generates money. It's definitely something that has to be kept, no matter how annoyed I am with my tripods and stands. They are essential tools I need to create my videos on this channel, and that's the reason why they have to stay. Next, define your regular basis. We don't always use all of our possessions on a regular basis, and that doesn't mean that they don't bring us any value. This works really well if you are living in a country with 4 seasons and have to shuffle between winter and summer wardrobe. When it comes to keeping stuff, we can always give ourselves a time frame. And a good example will be the 1990 rule. Declutter only if you haven't used it for the past 90 days and also won't be using it for the next 90 days. It doesn't have to be 90 days. Define your own regular basis by setting a time frame that is suitable for you and be honest with it. Next, price and accessibility matter. If the thing you want to declutter is costly and not easy to attain, do take some time to decide what's the best way to deal with it. If the thing is broken, does it cost more for you to store it and fix it than it would be to buy a new one? If you don't use it frequently, is it possible for you to borrow it from someone instead of owning one yourself? If we know we can sell it for a good price, we need to have some patience and keep it for the time being. Of course, in a situation where it's not causing any discomfort or costing way more than selling it. Lastly, remind ourselves, why minimalism? Why do we want a minimalist lifestyle? Why are we decluttering? We have to be aware that decluttering is a trend too. Whether is it good or bad, that depends on how we execute it and how purposeful we are with this challenge. If it's solely for the satisfaction of decluttering, we'll still end up going back to stores to buy things that we don't need due to impulse and declutter it a few months later, and the cycle will just continue. If minimalism is the end goal, this will be it, nothingness and void. But I don't think this is the kind of minimalism anybody wants. Neither is over decluttering. Decluttering for the sake of being a minimalist, that might be deprivation. If we see decluttering as a hobby, that makes minimalism obsession. However, if you still enjoy the process of decluttering and you have nothing left to declutter, you can always help others to declutter their stuff if they ask for it. We should see minimalism as a law of equivalent exchange. To obtain, something of equal must be lost. I got that reference from Fullmetal Alchemist, by the way. We don't declutter things without an objective. We chose to have less in order to have more of something. The purpose of us decluttering shouldn't be just the satisfaction of decluttering or the high of decluttering. The end goal of decluttering is not counting how many things you have decluttered, but what we can gain from letting go. Identify the purpose. We remove stuff in order to find freedom. The time used for cleaning things, the mental energy used to worry about things, the money spent on maintaining things, or the space used to hold things. And these are the resources we receive from decluttering. How intentional you are depends on how you use those resources. It can be the time used on your family, hobby, or self. That's my purpose. What's the purpose of you decluttering? Let me know down at the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoy what I have for you guys today. And if you are new here, do stay a bit longer to check out my other videos on minimalism. If you wish to support this channel, you can help me with the like button and follow me on my Instagram. I'll keep you guys updated. I have a Patreon page if you want to support this channel monetarily. And your support means a lot to me and help to keep this channel going. And I'm extremely grateful for all of these supports you guys are already giving me. I'm really thankful for that. Thanks for watching this, and I'll see you guys again next week.